You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey Rebel friend, just a quick reminder that there are new and exciting Rebel adventures coming the end of September, October, around then. So if you want to be amongst the first to know about it, just hit the link in the show notes, get your name on the waitlist, and I'll email out and all that kind of stuff. Feel free to reach out and ask me any questions or anything as well. All right, I think that's it. I'll hand you over to me. Hey friend, so today we're asking the question, are we defined by our experiences, our life experiences, or things that have happened over the course of our lives? And it's an interesting one. I was talking to somebody this week, hence this podcast, who'd been going through a bunch of really difficult life stuff. You know, life had really lifed and, difficult, challenging things that involved feeling a lot and kind of really tuning into wisdom and kind of figuring out what was best. And in the midst of this, they'd found themselves feeling peace and contentment and happiness. And it was almost like their friends and family were saying, how dare you? How could you be feeling that amongst this? And what I shared was, well, given that peace and contentment and happiness are not things that we attain, whenever we recognize the truth of us, whenever we come home to our true identity, consciousness, being, they're symptomatic. They show up. Peace or contentment. It's adaptive. It depends what we need in the moment, right? And it's a powerful thing to explore. So it's not something that we can lose, and it's not conditional. And given that it's not conditional, it can show up in any condition. So it could show up when life is difficult. It can show up when life is kind of easeful. And if you think about it, often when life's hard, a lot of the stuff that we've identified with that seemed very important falls away for a moment. So it's often in the moments where we just don't have time to kind of get caught up in that thought and that stuff that we've often been holding on to, that we can be surprised that peace and contentment can show up in those moments. But it gave rise to this question: are we not defined by these experiences or things that have happened, the difficult things or the traumas that we've had in our lives? Are we not defined by those? People often think like that, For anybody who believes that they are who they think they are, they're fully identified with the story that they have about themselves in their head. It looks like that. And other people will always see us through their own personal filters, so they may see us like that. But is it true? Are we defined by that? Now, of course, at the relative level, it looks like we have a history, right? I can tell the story of Sam, the stuff that happened when I was 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 and, difficult experiences, happy experiences. And so at that relative level, I can tell the story of me, right? And we do that often, don't we? If somebody says, well, how did you get to this point in your life? We then go on to tell this story. And in the moment, we create through the power of thought this impression, this image of us that has felt like it's been consistent through time. But we know that even our memories aren't fixed. I'm sure many of us have had that experience where somebody has recollected or retold something that had happened to us, and we think it really isn't like that in my memory. And there's also, they can show that we can have altered memories. We can have false memories. There's all sorts of things that can come in and sort of change and alter and transform those memories. So even that story, even that history that we retell is changing and moving depending on often sort of where we are, our state of mind at the time. And of course, we have memories and things that we've learnt, which means we have certain skills, and the body-mind has learnt to be able to do things that other people can't do. And of course, these skills, if we don't practice them, they can fall away. And if we've learnt a language over time, we may forget that language to a certain extent. And so these things come and go, right? It's like beliefs and thoughts and ideas and opinions, and even the idea that we have of ourselves, the image that we have of ourselves has continually changed and been recreated in every single moment. So this aspect of ourselves, this aspect of source of life, is absolutely a part of the oneness of everything. But ultimately, we can't be that which is constantly changing. And there is an element of us, there is an aspect of us that has never been defined or impacted or touched by any of the things that have come and gone. And that is the constant, unchanging aspect of you. And when I say you, I'm referring to Source. I'm referring to the oneness of life, that which we all are. And of course, Source is appearing as that which changes and constantly moves and never stands still, and the thoughts and feelings and sensations. But Source is also the unchanging, formless aspect of who we are. And most people don't know that. And so most people are fully identified with the story and the history, the stuff that's happened, all of that stuff. But right now, in this moment, if we just sit here together and reflect on a question, it may shine a light on something for you. Without referring to the past, without referring to thought, who are you? Now, when we ask ourselves that question, and we don't go through the mental filing cabinet of, well, I'm, and all that stuff that we tend to do, and the stories we tend to go to, and we just are vibrantly alive and present in this moment, just with what's here now, we'll realize that there's something here, who you really are, that has never changed. And you are this. And it's not defined by any experience. Every experience comes and goes. Experiences, by their very nature, they come and they go. But you don't. The fact of experiencing, the very fact that an experience of the appearance is happening, that doesn't change. That's continual. That's constant. And it's very, very helpful in my experience to come to know ourselves as this. And this is the space from which we access those deeper states of contentment, of peace. And for me, it's where it's at. Getting caught up in the world of emotionality and the highs and the lows, that to me isn't the space of contentment. The space of the constant space of contentment resides here, as you. And so I just wanted to reflect on that, because I understand that at some level people may judge us. Many people who listen to this podcast may have had an experience of addiction, as many people have, however you found your way to what we're up to here. But addiction isn't an identity, it's an experience. And that's true of everything. All of the experiences that come and go, all of the difficult things we've experienced or not, they come and they go. They're not the truth of us. They're not the truth of us. And so often many of the things that we've identified with and we've sort of collated together and collected together, there's a lot of difficulty and a lot of heaviness and a lot of pain in that. But to be able to let go, to be able to see through that, to be able to realize, wow, none of that stuff defines me, is incredibly freeing and available and accessible to everybody, no matter what. No matter what's happened, no matter what we've been through, we're able to recognize and come to see the truth of who we are. So there we go. I hope you heard something in there. And if you did, I'd love to hear about it and all that stuff. And yeah, as I say, if you're interested in learning more about programs that I'm up to and things like that will be coming in the future, the waitlist for those things will always be in the show notes. Okay, Rebel, I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon.